Okay, let's go.
What's happening, Dustin?
Oh, it's a great day. I'm definitely a little bit more clairvoyant this week. Had a little start of the week. Just kind of diving into things and seeing how things are going with the industry, as well as looking into some interesting stuff today. So, how are you doing, John?
Oh, doing good. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Yeah.
As you can see behind me, it's a beautiful day here in South Florida. Palm trees are green. Life is good, you know. I was just thinking before we got on this, it's funny that we, in the industry, we refer to ourselves as people, especially people who love coins. We're coinaholics. And I was trying to work that into like some kind of catchphrase or something. I love the term coinaholics because we do get addicted to these things. And we're going to be talking about coins mostly and precious metals. But today I wanted to talk about, as the name says, American coin and currency. So I wanted to just discuss some currency and same thing that we've discussed in the past in some ways with coins. Uh, if you're going to go down that road of getting into currency, investing in currency, old notes, um, collecting them. You need to have some things to do that so that you're an educated consumer and that you're informed. So yeah, I thought that'd be cool to start. We're not going to have the whole the whole show today just about notes, but I wanted to take like 10, 20 minutes just to go over some basic things with old notes and do's and don'ts, and then we'll segue into some other pertinent topics. How's that
For
sound?
sure. Sounds great. Yeah. Thanks
Okay.
everybody for being here. We're here with American Coin and Currency. Here we have our talks about the industry and numismatic, as well as today specifically we're talking more about older notes and the industry. The do's or don'ts, like you mentioned. Some things we can give you tips on how to get involved and what to look for. So yeah, we're excited. We're here with John Mady. He is the founder and CEO of American Coin and Currency, located West Palm Beach, Florida. If you guys want to check it out, give us a call. We have a physical location. Um, and yeah, we're gonna dive into it today, guys, and we're gonna talk about some old notes and notes in general. So we'll bring you up here.
All right. And I was rude earlier. I didn't say hello to everyone, I don't think. So, yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We always appreciate you watching us. And especially, I received so many comments, so many DMs. And I love to hear from people and just engaging with the community that we're in. So, thank you very much for that. And I hope that continues. And I don't see it why it wouldn't. So, notes. Um, Totally different animal, but like I like to say, it's the same but different. So if you're going to get into notes, a must-have. Like if you're going to get serious into investing and collecting into notes, you have to have the Arthur and Ira Friedberg book. So every note, you can get this on Amazon. It's not expensive, uh, but this has every U.S. note. And uh, I had mentioned in our last meeting, we had talked about California fractionals and how Brilio and Green had come up with a book to catalog all the known California fractionals, and they're known as BG, Boy George. That's funny, BG, Boy George numbers, BG numbers. Uh, with notes, we have the FR numbers, Friedberg numbers. So they cataloged every note. So every single note that's going to be sent in for grading. We're authorized dealers with PMG, paper money guarantee, as well as PCGS's note grading services, which they're both fantastic. I don't have a preference. I love using both of them. I typically send to PMG, and the reason is because they're in Sarasota. They're literally 3 hours directly across the state from where I am. So the Freeburg number is important to really be able to catalog and research notes. If they're not graded, you won't have a Freeburg number. But The way to start using this tool and this resource would be to take a raw note, ungraded, and you can then use this resource, this book, Friedberg book, and you can actually find the Friedberg number based off, what you can do the searches here in the book and find your note, and it'll be based off the series. So let's say like series 1914 or 1928, 1934, and then the signatures. So there's always two signatures on the note, the treasurer and the forgot who the other person is that signed. I'm sorry, I had a little bit of slip there. So there's always two signatures on here, and that you can also then you can find your exact note using those tools, the series number and then the signatures, and that narrows it down for you. So to kick things off strong, this is one of my favorites here. Not many people have seen $1,000 note, a real one at least.
That's cool.
So that's Grover Cleveland on there, and I love the $1,000 note. So with notes, we all know 1 up to 100. They did produce a $500 note, the $1,000 note, a $5,000 note, and a $10,000 note. Now this is a series 1934, and you have to think, go back to 1934. Very few people were carrying this around. Now, the $1,000 notes were used in some ways for commerce, things like that. But when you get to 1,000, especially 5,000 and $10,000 notes, think of they were basically used interbank. So think of a modern day wire that we all do, right? It's pretty much instantaneous. Back then, when wires were done between banks, they weren't wires, they were actually the currency itself was delivered. So the $10,000 notes came in really handy for that purpose, as well as the $5,000 notes. I find that fascinating because it's just, it's just really cool. Here's another really cool piece. That's what the $100 notes used to look like, with Franklin looking to the side, a side bust. I just love the engraving on these pieces, the plates that were used, the artwork. But what I find really cool, Dustin, as well, is look at the size difference.
Oh, whoa, yeah, the 1,000's really small.
The 1,000 is that size is what we all use every day.
Oh, okay, just comparison. Oh, okay, the bigger note reminds me of an
comparison,
Iraqi dinar. I know their money's a lot bigger, or like the Hong Kong dollars. Yeah, they're like much bigger notes.
Sure. So when I when I was pulling these out earlier for our show, I was just it popped in my head. They didn't put this in a wallet. Back then, people had
No.
they call it billfold, but a billfold is actually
Oh,
a leather, or it was probably leather, but
okay.
it wouldn't fold. You just put it in there like long ways like that, and then stick it in your breast pocket in a suit or something like that.
Interesting.
If you come across notes, best thing to do would be to go online, do a little research on them, and then what I discover a lot, notes cost more to grade than coins do.
Oh,
Not by much, but it is more money. So I always advise people, same thing with coins. Like you have to do a little due diligence and find out if it's worth even getting it graded. Because if you're going to spend X amount on grading, but the coin is worth less than that, what's the point? You're spending more than the coin is worth. So same thing with notes. Do a little due diligence. Reach out to a dealer like myself for possible information on what you have. And for the most part, with notes, is the condition, like any kind of collectible, would be it's paramount. But especially with notes, if you have a note that's has a bunch of fold marks in it, I don't know if I have one here I can show you, but the corners are bent, stains, writing on it. It's unless it's an exceedingly rare note, it's not going to be worth getting graded, in my experience.
Mm.
If it's an exceedingly rare note, absolutely it's worth getting graded because it's going to yield even more when you use either PCGS's service or NGC service for the notes, PMG with NGC.
Mm.
So I would of course get the book, the Freebird book, if you're really serious about going down this path, and then um, find out what you really like to collect, or invest in. So just like coins, people are partial to certain series, certain notes. I like $50 and $100 bills. Of course, my $1,000 bill I love. But with notes, there's really, really interesting and cool histories behind why certain notes were made. I'm seeing if I could find one here. Um, so back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, much of the country was rural, except the cities, obviously. So the U.S. Mint came up with an idea. They started what was called educational series, and I don't have one here, unfortunately, but I can show you what they look like. So what they wanted to do was basically bring a little bit of, what's the best word to say, culture to the masses. People in rural areas that typically wouldn't go to a museum, wouldn't, see those kinds of things in their small town that they lived in. So they created these notes that were stunningly beautiful. And of course, now I can't find it while I'm under the gun. So it was a one, a two, sorry, $1, two, five, 10. But the plate work, the engraving that was done on these notes. Okay, here we go. Yes, here we go. So these are the educational notes. So
Oh,
you see
oh,
how
whoa.
how much was put on there, and they made these specifically to bring a little bit of culture, a little bit of art to the masses in rural areas. Um, I've had these; they're beautiful. Unfortunately, I don't have one now, but the ones, the twos, the $5, they're just stunningly beautiful.
Mm. Yeah, it's intricate.
And the thing that I really love about notes, that's actually one of my favorites there. The
Oh, the 5? That looks so
dollar
cool.
Indian. Yeah.
Nice.
But think, Dustin, like that was engraved at some point. Some really talented person, I'm not sure for these exact ones, took a plate and
Right.
engraved that plate to make this art. Because to me,
Mhm.
these are art. And that the amount of detail and the amount of just things that you can see on a note, whether it be educationally or just artistically, you can get with coins, but not to the extent that you do with notes. And because coins are one color, right? I mean, they do have some colored coins, but it's either going to be gold, silver, or copper for the most part with valuable coins. With notes, you have ink, so they could make them just really, really pretty. And so, aside from being pretty, which is nice, valuable. And the market for notes in particular has absolutely exploded over the last few years, and there's no slowdown in sight. Uh, I, I, um, I get this publication here. Of course, I don't have one while I'm doing this. Basically, it comes every month. It's from the same people that put out Coin World.
Mm.
They have it's called the Green Sheets, and Green Sheets gives you the same thing like with Redbook, but it's monthly. It gives you the current prices and and gives you a little idea of what's happening in that world of rare currency and notes. And every time I get it, it's like I see these new records being made for for auctions, and that's just fantastic. I actually had this conversation with a customer the other day, and he was like, when is the slowdown going to happen? He's been trying to predict it for years. I was like, well, why would it happen? There's more and more people entering the space, more and more money entering this space. And my exact words to him was, money needs to find a home, right?
Mm.
So it's a great home. You're basically taking your modern notes, and you're. I always like to say, you're not spending money, right? You're just converting money. You're converting it from here over to here, and to me, that's a no-brainer if you have the means to do so. So that's kind of just like a really quick introduction into notes, the resource you should have if you're going to get serious. Find a good dealer. Of course, I would love for you to work with me, right? But you can find a dealer somewhere in your area. Go to A&A and do a search. But I'm very, very knowledgeable when it comes to U.S. notes. Foreign notes, I don't know anything about them. So before anyone asks me, I really can't help you with foreign notes. I'm going to use the same resources that you are. I'm probably going to go onto eBay and try to find that note and see what's what. But U.S. notes, I'm comfortable to say that I'm an authority on them. I've spent years learning about notes and the different variations and what makes some valuable and what makes some not valuable. So I would love to have this conversation in depth with whoever is looking to get involved or who is already involved and has a collection or a investment portfolio of notes. I'd love to have a conversation with you. So you can reach out to me, my email, which Dustin always puts up, my phone number, 561-310-8341 is my direct line. Yes, I will be the one answering it. And if I don't, leave a message and I will call you back. But yeah, that's basically a really quick intro into notes. And I'm going to continue with this, Dustin, as we move forward. And then I'll start picking out some notes in particular and go a little more in depth. And of course, if anyone watching this would like to, wants to hear about certain notes or coins for that matter, drop us a DM. Let us know. Your feedback is really important to us, and we'll bring it up in one of our shows. We already get that pretty often, and I really do appreciate everyone sending those over to us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's interesting seeing those rare notes. I know a lot of those are not as they're not in circulation, but you can tell, a lot of detail and and it's interesting you brought up like the artists that use those specific sets of notes. They put those on plates. It's interesting. No one think, at least I don't think about that, like the artists that created those plates. And it's interesting to have, who are those people, who are those in position, or allow them to create that type of art for the specific notes.
Yeah.
And now that where the notes look like now are kind of plain, in comparison, like the $5 note that you showed that is like very intricate. It pops out. It's the color, the contrast. It looks really beautiful. Honestly, if we had money that looked like that, it would be, a little bit, a little bit more interesting to see. But yeah. So what is what's your current take on like the notes that we have now, and do we find like some of those like error notes, or is there anything specific about notes these days that kind of sticks out for you?
Yeah, so I do get, like I mentioned just a second ago, people reaching out with questions on notes as well, which we greatly appreciate. Typically, the questions I'm being asked about and information that people want, a lot of times is with modern notes. And when I say modern, I'm referring to, let's say, series 1953 and to current date. A lot of times people, they find an offset print, which is an error. And there's different varieties of error with some being very slight, some being very valuable because they're just, you wonder how the heck did this get out and not destroyed. So people bring that up with modern notes. Serial numbers. I know there's actually a sub collect. There's a, what's the word for it? There's a subcategory of collectors that collects the serial numbers, certain serial numbers. So let's say really low serial numbers, 0000151. That's a very, that was number 151. That was the 151st note that was struck. Star notes, people ask a lot about.
Right. Yeah.
Star note is a replacement note for one that was not damaged or probably came out as an error. The thing with the modern notes, with the situations I just mentioned, except for if it has a really severe error, like the same image on the obverse and reverse, right? You have a front on the front and the back, or vice versa, or other types of really severe errors. Those are very valuable. If you have one of those, don't spend it. Put it aside. And it would absolutely be worth spending the money to get it graded. If it's in really bad condition, that's going to affect the price. But one thing that a lot of people bring up to me is they have a note. It's like a series 2001, so it's very modern. It's in really ratty condition, but it's a star note. And people do a little research and they think, oh my God, I have a star note. I'm rich, right? Unfortunately, because of the condition of that note, the star note, no one that I know of, no one's really going to be looking to purchase that note. You might be able to pop it up on eBay and get more than face value for it. But if, again, it kind of goes back to that, if it's in bad condition, ratty, even if it's a star note, even if it has a slight offset printing on it, because of its condition, it's not going to be worth a lot. Now, if that was a note from the 1800s and it was a large note, that's a different story. So that's pretty much it with modern notes. And there are people find errors and different things like that all the time. You want to look for really severe errors in modern stuff, and if it has a star with it, that's just a home run. So, but the condition is everything, Dustin.
Yeah, because I've seen some notes that had it's like the 5-point star, and then there's ones that were shifted, that were more of the rarer ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But okay, I know what you're referring to.
Yeah. Recently seen something about that. So yeah, it's interesting to see some of these notes, and still that there's a bit of a collectible aspect to it. People do enjoy lower mint numbers in various industries and different products. That itself has its value. And then, yeah, newer notes having errors, which I haven't seen too much personally, but I don't often look for those type of errors. But yeah, let's move on to our next segment here. So we're going to be talking about a little bit about what's going on with the U.S. Mint and what's next on the schedule.
Yes.
So pull up some information here from U.S. Mint's schedule for you guys. Okay. Let me just pull up here. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, let me move this over.
Yeah. So once you get that up, we'll go back to the beginning of the year, because what I want to discuss with you, Dustin, and everyone else who's listening, is how to look for coins that are going to be really hot that the mint is producing, and which ones you should purchase, which ones you should maybe, if you're just looking to, well, I don't want to go down that road. Let's just talk about which ones are, in my opinion, which ones have really done well, which ones, in my opinion, are going to do well that haven't been released yet. And then I'd like to also just discuss after we go through this, the pros and cons of buying directly from the mint as opposed to buying directly from me, a
Mm.
dealer. So, okay, there we go. So, can you scroll all the way back to January 2nd?
Oh, January. So previous products.
Yeah, so go to,
All 2025. Let's see, January. Okay, here we are.
there we go. Okay. So, these were popular, especially with veterans that in our business here, we work with a lot of veterans. And I want to throw it out there. Thank you, first off, for your service.
Mhm.
Greatly appreciate you.
Thank you.
And also, we give veteran discounts on every transaction. So if you are a veteran and you're doing business with us and just starting, please mention that you're a veteran, uh,
Mm.
and you'll get a discount. So thank you again for your service. So these are popular coins in the front there. Let's keep scrolling down, Dustin, to first one that really kind of hit it off this year was on March 20th. You had the release of the American Gold Eagles.
And
Um,
here.
we bought those, and everything that we get is going to be once we sell it to the public, it's going to be proof 70, and it's going to be either deep cameo or ultra cameo if it's NGC, as well as mostly we get advanced release as opposed to FDI. Advanced release being the uh, the top category, in my opinion, for a coin. It just adds to the pedigree, and we normally get them signed by one of the designers. So, yeah, that was the first coin that really kind of hit off the year for us. That we were waiting on that piece to get released.
Mm.
Um, just the 1 ounce was really popular, and then if we go to May 8th, Dustin, you'll see that we have the American Buffaloes, and we we sold out of those very quickly. There was a limited number that was minted, and yeah, if you look there, only 14,000. So the people who are listening, if you're going to use the tools that you have at your disposal, right? Why go into anything blind if you don't have to? So the U.S. Mint is a great resource, not only for seeing the product schedules, but also seeing previous schedules. And there's a plethora of information on the site itself. So use the resources. Only 14,000 of those were minted. That's an incredibly low mintage, incredibly low. Now, when I see that, I see bullion coins, which is that's what they were produced as. Out of that 14,000, a very, very small number were graded proof 70, and then you go even to more rarity as you continue. So last week I showed you, or the week prior, I showed you that gold buffalo because I kept one for my personal collection
Mhm.
with the Damstra signature. It was advanced release, Damstra, Emily Damstra signature on it, PCGS graded. There was only 5 of those as per PCGS Coinfax in the world. So that's what I want to get involved with. Things that are extremely low populations. So if we continue moving down here, the Buffalo is a huge hit. I'm very happy about those. I love when the U.S. Mint produces low mintage items because it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy with them becoming highly collectible. The next piece that we have that was very hot, we did just sell out of them, is on July 10th. You have the Morgan and Peace dollar sets. So they started these back in 2021. It was the 100th year anniversary of the end of the Morgan and Peace dollars, and so the Mint created in 2021 the new version, and they were wildly popular. Very low mintages. Uh, they're now selling for 3-4 times what we were selling them for back then. But so this piece here, if you look at the mintage, you'll see it's only 150,000. Now with silver, that's still low. Um, Now what we do is we'll get these coins, then we get them graded. So when they come back to us, of course we're dealers, so we have we have certain agreements in place with our graders. Um, we'll get the coins back. We only take the 70s, the ones that are graded 70. So in this case, these are mint states. Uncirculated is business strike. So mint state, advanced release, Emily Damstra, signature, PCGS holder, deep cameo.
Hmm.
Only 300 of those sets with Damstra signature exist. And when it comes to these pieces, we actually have the contract to be the only dealer that offers these Morgan Peace Dollar sets with PCGS, all Proof 70, Deep Cameo, Advanced Release, Emily Damstra signature. So we have that contract, and our customers like that. They're going to be buying either a set or a couple sets of something that there's a very, very limited number out there, and they're not worried about dilution in the future because there's not a chance that they're going to be, it's 2025. They're not going to mint a 2021 coin again. And so dilution is not a factor, which if you're an investor, you know how important that is. So these sold out very recently. We'll continue down the Spider-Man. I'm sorry, the Superman on July 24th. This has been a hot piece. I've seen many articles, and that's the other thing I do, Dustin. Being that I get all these different periodicals in weekly and monthly, like Coin World, I see it allows me the ability to see which articles are being written, and so the ones that are getting more press always seem to be the hot coins, right? That just makes sense. So that's another tool that could be used for people. But I didn't get any of these. We didn't get any of these. Not that I don't like them. It's just in past experience, our customer base isn't looking for this kind of product. But if you look at the mintage, there's only 10,000 of the gold pieces that were made. Again, very low mintage equals highly collectible coin. So if we keep scrolling down here, August 21st, this is the big boy so far this year, the American Liberty 2025 West Point $100 Liberty Sunflower. And we did get some of these, and we still have some in stock. Ours are, again, PCGS graded. They're 70, Proof 70, Deep Cameo. In these, these were advanced. They are advanced release, and they're signed by Emily Damstra. These came from the mint, $4,115 a piece for a raw piece, and they sold out, from my understanding, within minutes. I just read an article the other day.
Wow.
And it was one per household, and there's no more available. So if you want one, you have to now go to the secondary market to purchase it, which is fine. Coins like that reminds me of the I believe it was 2019 Bucking Bronco, another $100 Liberty. There's a series of coins that the mint has been producing. That was 12,000 pieces of the Bucking Bronco that were produced, and that coin right now, graded 70, you can't touch that coin for. I mean, that's an $18,000 coin.
Whoa.
Right? So, actually, this is actually the same mintage, 12,000. So they're both 12,000. So in my mind, this one here is destined to be very similar to that Bucking Bronco.
Okay.
You have the matching silver, which we also have that came out. We're getting these delivered next week, and they are on our eBay. So if anyone wants to go to our eBay and look, more than welcome to. They are listed up there right now. And then as we continue to go down, you see the Palladium coin on September 4th. Those are, what are we doing with time? 40. Okay. So we've been purchasing these since 2017 when they first came out. That was the first time that the U.S. Mint created a 1 ounce Palladium coin, Palladium Eagle, and they've been wildly popular since then. Because I'm going to guess the mintage is 15,000. Let me see.
6,000.
6,000. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's insane.
listen, what I do is not rocket science. You have the resources. Take a little time. Look at mintages. Look at what's coming out, and it's fun and it's rewarding. So 6,000 pieces. I'm ordering those today, and so when we get ours, they'll be perfect condition. These are proof, so they'll be proof 70s.
Hmm.
Uh, and also September 11th, the proof Morgan silver dollar pieces are coming out. So going back to the Morgan peace dollar sets, they come out with the business strike first, the mint states, and then the proofs are in the middle of the year, and then towards the very end of the year, the reverse proofs come out. So we'll be picking up our allotment of these again, and we are the only dealers that will have the PCGS advanced release, Damster signed Morgan peace dollar proofs. So if I don't, like I said, we sold out of the mint states, so sorry about that. But for those of our customers that did pick up those, now we can finish your set, which makes it more valuable in the end, as opposed to just having one piece of six, two of the six coins out. So and then we have Batman. I'm not probably going to get involved with that, and Wonder Woman. No, nothing against Wonder Woman. I loved Wonder Woman when I was a kid, but
Oh, I see.
point. Yeah, I just scroll down. So for this year, those are the hot coins, and we
Yeah,
we,
I
we
can
have
see
all of them.
what
But
the.
next year, I expect some really good stuff to come out because the new mint director is from our business, from our industry. He gets what's needed for collectors and investors in numismatics. So I expect next year's product schedule to be pretty stacked.
Let's see if they offer that information.
Mm-mm,
No, no, not yet.
not yet. No,
Let's see.
no.
Anything? No, nothing. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, you can tell, I mean, just by the design why specific coins would do better. And then also how you mentioned is the amount, what is the release, the minting amounts is important too, is seeing that there's only going to be a certain limit. And I've been in other industries where, yeah, a specific limit, and you got to think like, you know, we have billions of people in this world, and just in the US we have, we have like what, two, I'm not sure what the billion amount, but
Over around 350 million people.
350 million people, and you can, in that one palladium is 6,000. It's like
Right?
that's
That's the U.S.
and that's not even mint state 70, on top of that, and the different gradings.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can imagine there's only going to be 100 of them, mid state 70s, if that. And that really does play a huge role on like price appreciation, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm very keen to that, and I would hope a lot of people would understand, the limit is very important, and how much are those like actually available in the different grades. And that's huge. So yeah, like you mentioned, what was the one that was the 12,000?
That's $100 gold
The buff
sunflower
the sun
Liberty.
yeah, the sunflower. Yeah, that one specifically, you could just tell by the design. Plus, PCGS and NGC on the internet, on X and different platforms have been promoting
Yeah.
the coins themselves. So, I've seen them having them available for heritage auctions. So it's a lot of, like prevalence. There's a lot of it's relevant. People, grading services are, announcing that these coins are available. So, having a lot of these, industry leaders really promoting, per se, specific coins are going to be huge in general. You can imagine like what the 2026 schedule is going to look like. Another, Liberty, another Buffalo, another, and
Yeah.
how much are the mints then? It could
Yeah.
be less. It could be, so
Correct.
um yeah, that's great. And I love that you mentioned about, if it was a 2021 or 2025, it's not, diluting, specific years. It's creating a different year mint. So those ones are pretty much set. Those are capped out. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I love that. I guess we'll talk a little bit about our store. I want to mention some things here. If anything specifically pops out for you for people to be interested in. I know you mentioned the buffalo, but let's go back here. Yeah, is there anything you want to specifically point out in our store right now?
Yeah, so the 2025 W Sacagawea you see right there for
Oh yeah.
4,600. Talking about buzz, right? And we didn't bring that up on our little mint tour there, but
Mm,
this is the second time that coin has made it to the cover of Coin World. So when I see things like that, that to me is just like, no brainer. Try to get customers involved. And these have just been flying off the shelves here, literally
mm.
flying off the shelves. They're selling on eBay. We have customers actually calling in for them, have been calling in. We just got them um, earlier in the week, and there's the actual piece.
Wow. Yeah, let's get a little closer on that one.
There we go. Beautiful coin.
That's a beautiful coin.
There's the yeah. So I mean, it's just products like this that that just move markets and move off the shelf. So going back to the eBay there, I always try to put up there to just make an offer. Uh, I field a lot of offers and I take a lot of offers. So don't be shy about taking an offer. And one other thing I quickly wanted to mention was, there are customers of ours that what we do is we assist them to build complete sets of whether it be gold eagles, palladium eagles. I'm sorry, not palladium, platinum eagles.
Mm,
That nature, all graded, all the same signature. Every coin is identical. The holder's identical. Who signed it's identical. The only thing that's different is the year. And having those complete sets, they have and continue to become very valuable. They're a gold set, complete gold set. You're talking six figures of
yeah.
gold eagles.
That's
For proofs, for mint states, it's even more.
wow.
But in my mind, what's the difference between buying that or buying any other kind of uh, product or vehicle that I'm looking to get a return on?
Mm,
Uh, and in that case, the case I'm discussing right now, I have complete ownership of it. They're in my hands. That asset is with me. I have control of it. I personally enjoy that. I like that. So that's a super hot coin. Going back to the Sacagawea, yeah, make an offer on it. And I will be listing some other products here in the next week. Uh, Including the Palladium, which I'm going to work out the deal on that today.
mm,
That will be listed soon, as well as some other products. Um, Getting in touch with us is really easy. You can do it through, you can DM us, you can call. Number's always up, 561, there you go, 310-8341, or email us at youneedcoins@gmail.com. Excuse me. Real quick, because oh wow, this hour goes by so fast, Dustin. I have so much fun doing this too.
I love it. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, it's just great. Really quickly, because this could be an hour-long conversation by itself, but I'll just cover the main points. I just
All right.
wanted to bring up the pros and cons of buying direct from the mint as opposed to working with a dealer for these products. So pros are buying directly from the mint. You get the coin. It comes in its OGP, original government packaging, which is nice. Uh, One thing I want to point out: if you do buy from the mint and it's something like that sunflower, the $100 Liberty, don't open the pack. Even though it's hard not to, I found in my experience when I go to resell an ungraded coin that I bought directly from the mint, the unopened package from the mint, the way they shipped it to you, that little carton, don't open it. Leave it the way it is. That's how I like to do it. Everyone can do their own thing. I've always seen that I can fetch a larger return for completely unopened products from the mint. So that's just a little piece of advice. Um, Easy access, right? Anyone can go to the mint, sign up, uh, possibly get a coin, a few coins, whatever you're looking to do. So that's another pro there. And again, I said earlier, it's just fun. I like browsing. It's fun to go through, see which coins might be hot, look at the different mintages, sign up, and hope that you're going to get one. The downside, the cons of excuse me, buying from the mint is you're buying ungraded coins. That's fine. You're getting them directly from the source, so it's not an issue. Um, uh, Resale issues I see sometimes can be not a problem, but the graded coins, especially with really hot coins, like let's say that Buck and Bronco we talked about, or the $100 sunflower, Liberty sunflower. The graded pieces fetch more because people are just scared to buy raw, even though it came originally. I might have bought it from the mint. I know I bought it from the mint, but I'm selling it to you, Dustin. I don't know you. You don't know that, right? So that's a little downside there. And then the real downside, and a lot of people complain about it, I read about it all the time, is that because there's such limited production of these products, like the palladium that's coming out today, was it today? Is that that was the one that had 6,000? Is that the chances of you getting it is not great, right? You could sign up with the mint, you could put in your order, and it's really like a lottery basis. I mean, I don't know exactly the mechanics of how they choose who gets it and who wins, but if there's 100,000 people clamoring to get that coin and there's only 6,000 minted, the odds are not great that you're going to get one. So as opposed to working directly with a dealer, so if you're working with me and my company or our salespeople here, you're going to get a graded product. So I'm going to keep using that $100 Liberty sunflower. It's going to be graded, so you can take the unique numerical identifier, pop it into NGC or PCGS, verify that coin is that coin. So there's no variables there. Assistance. You work with a dealer, you're going to get great customer service. You're going to be able to talk to someone live. You're going to be able to have a conversation with that person, hopefully me, and you're going to get educated if needed. The mint's not going to do that for you. And I'm not saying anything derogatory in any way about the mint. I love the U.S. Mint. Absolutely love it. Dear to my heart. It's a government agency. You're not going to get anyone on the phone. You're not going to get any help. It is what it is, right? So if you work with a dealer that prioritizes customer service and the goals and objectives of their customers above all else, you're going to have a great purchasing experience. And that's what we're looking to achieve here, because we've done it for years and we know that we're going to do it for you and anyone else who comes on board with American Coin and Currency. And those are really a quick snippet. I mean, I can go really deep into this and spend a lot of time talking about it, but those are really the pros and cons. I mean, if I was advising someone, I would say talk to a dealer, talk to me. If I wasn't a dealer, let's say, but talk to me. And I think that it's just some people need a little hand holding, some don't. There's some customers out there that probably know more than me. They've been collecting for 40, 50 years, investing in coins. So I like the dealer route because you have to work with a dealer who has the customers' wants and needs at the forefront of everything, and that's what we have here at American Coin and Currency. I've heard stories of people working with other dealers and I'll never say any other dealers' names, but there's a real lack of customer service. And if you're spending that sunflower, we have it listed for $8,995 on eBay, and I'll take less for it if an offer comes in. Not much less, but I'll consider it. But if you're spending that kind of money, don't you want to be able to get someone on the phone? Don't you want to be able to talk to them? Don't you want to be able to get more information if needed about that product? Like, that's just common sense to me, and that's
Yeah,
that's what we're going to do here for you. So
makes sense.
yeah, work with American Coin and Currency. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, I like the personal touch that a dealer would be compared to U.S. Mint. So yeah, totally. It's like calling a manufacturer rather calling than a local you know uh, you know person. So like if it
Yeah,
was any like an appliance store, or you're gonna call the manufacturer, they're not gonna be talking to you. You're gonna call
no,
an appliance store. You're gonna call the guy that actually deals with the people, not just direct to B2B essentially. So B2C in this case. Um, yeah, no, we're running out of time here, but we're gonna be answering some questions. So I'll pull up some stuff for you, John. Here, um, are grades for notes similar to rare coin grades?
yeah. So 70 is the highest grade. That's perfect. Uh, so the short answer is yes.
Okay, good to know. What are some of your favorite notes?
I love the Indian that I showed you earlier.
Hmm.
I absolutely love gold certificate notes. I just bought one from the. I actually just bought a bunch of notes from the public from someone, and they're at PMG right now getting graded. But I
Okay.
actually just got $100 gold seal note. And back in the day, you could go to the bank and you could get gold, $10 worth of gold for that note, because we were actually, money did have something it was tied to. Let me show you real quick. So that's my favorite, the gold seals. That's a
Wow.
$10.
Interesting.
So I love all these.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So cool.
Hmm. That's cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for asking. That's a good question. Let's see. Got some old coins. Some that are double stamped with other coins on them would be interesting. Um, okay, well, yeah, reach out to us on
Sure.
Facebook. It looks like, and yeah, we'll answer you some questions. Looks like you have another question as well. I'm trying to find an honest dealer to buy. I got some old notes too. Yeah, reach out to us in our DMs. We'll be happy to answer any questions. Let's go here. So YouTube, what valuable lessons have you learned buying rare notes?
Just like buying rare coins, you learn what to look for, what not to look for.
Hmm.
Fortunately, with notes, I have not, as opposed to coins, there's not as many in my experience, not as many. I don't like using the word counterfeits, but replicas of
Um,
notes. I just don't see that as much, and I just think it's too much of a
oh,
issue to create that. Whereas they're creating really really good counterfeits now, and replicas I consider like people have been replicating coins forever. You
okay.
know, um, especially really rare ones. I that happens often. I have someone who reaches out and they send me a picture of a 1804 dollar, and they're like, "Yeah, I got this." And I'm like, "You don't. It's not real. There's six of those known to exist, and they're from 1804. So if there's any more, they were probably found by now."
Hmm.
That's very common. I don't see that as much with notes. So
Okay.
there's always
Interesting.
lessons to be learned, but again, it's just being educated and having someone you can lean on, like myself, a dealer that'll help you out to navigate those waters.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I would think notes would be a little bit more counterfeited to paper. But yeah, I mean it's really intricate, specific ink. It's really hard to replicate, I would think. Yeah. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
think about it. How hard would that? It would be really difficult.
That's pretty difficult. Yeah. All right, let's go on. Robert, are there specific engravers, John Mercanti, on coins that you should be aware of?
Sure. So there, Mocanti is kind of he is the I don't want to say the godfather of coins or engravers, but he is a legend in the industry with engravers. Um, Emily
Okay.
Damstra she's
Right.
engraved or been a part of many different coins. Mike Castle, again, a lot of coins that he's been involved with. David Hall is actually not an engraver. He's the founder of PCGS, and I've had people requesting coins that he's signed.
Huh.
Um,
Interesting.
but in particular, yeah, I love Mercanti, I love Damstra, I love Castle, and there's a few others out there that you want to get the engravers that had something to do with many coins, were involved with many coins. That's what I look for.
Interesting. So, like, if they were like new, obviously they wouldn't have the value proposition compared to somebody that was, that's already been, you know, engraving coins. So, like, technically, it would be like almost like a rookie card, buying like a
Yeah, good
early engraver and then like holding on to that engraver like 30 years later, and then they become a little bit more popular. So,
good
interesting.
analogy.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's very interesting. So we got Elite Exotics, BP John, 7350 produced. I'm assuming there's a certain coin you're talking about. Is that the Superman coin? Because he mentions,
I think Superman coins.
yeah, I think the Superman coin is going to be sought after in a
I
lot of.
agree. Absolutely, John. I agree 100,000%. In fact, there's been at least one article every month, if not weekly, in regard to the Superman coin before it launched. It's there's been a lot of buzz around it. So I would imagine that the Wonder Woman and the who's the other character, the Batman ones will also be similar in people looking to acquire them.
Hmm.
They didn't even come up with the Batman or Wonder Woman what the how many are they're going to produce, but I would imagine it's going to be the same as the uh, Superman.
Hmm. Yeah, they picked DC. I'm a fan of Marvel, but older Marvel like Spider-Man, X-Men, and stuff like that, Hulk, or so maybe there could be some crossover there. I know DC is kind of more of like,
I think
American. I could see, the ties with history. Interesting to see that. Another. Oh, so Robert was reiterating about his question was specific to paper
oh,
money engraving.
no signatures with paper
No
money
signatures. Okay.
because a lot of them their grandkids or great grandkids are who's alive now, not the engraver.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah. Let's see what we got. Another question, or another, I guess, response from Elite Exotics. He followed us on eBay. Says we have some nice coins. Yeah, thanks for
Thank you.
following us.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
appreciate it.
We
Yeah,
do
check
our
out.
best.
Yeah, we're doing really well actually. Our sales are up to the roof, this month. So yeah, we're
Yep,
getting a lot of traffic. So appreciate you guys.
very
Uh,
much. We appreciate you.
Okay, just dropping a like. Oh, Free King, awesome. Thanks for the like. Appreciate you. Yeah, come back every week, Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. We're here every week on a Thursday. So yeah, show up. We're on 5 platforms now. Instagram, I think we had to do something specific, but we're on X, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So yeah, check us out. Let's see. Very cool. Let's see what else we got. Great information from Free King. And then the last one here. Great information. Thank you, John and Dustin. Appreciate you being here with us today.
We
Um,
appreciate you for listening.
yeah, we love it. This is great. I love the format. We're gonna have some people join us. Been talking to different people to join us for these live streams and get a little bit of interesting dynamic of other people and their perspective in the industry. And yeah, we'll have some cool conversations. Share the information. Here's our number: 5613108341. Get a hold of John directly, or you can email us at uniquecoins@gmail.com. And you can check us out on our eBay as well. Let's see, where's our eBay? eBay at American Coin and Currency on eBay. Coin and Currency Net as well for our website. But yeah, check out our eBay. We're constantly moving inventory and things are changing and switching up. So if there's anything specific, just DM us. We can, always talk about doing some specific deals or anything. If you want to buy bulk, or interested in any future products as well that we will be listing. So, yeah, any highlights on things for people to look for before we take off today for products on our eBay?
Well, that Sacagawea is going to sell out really soon. I'd say by week's end tomorrow, we're most likely going to be sold out. So if you're looking to acquire an absolutely beautiful specimen, the top of the top in that coin, yeah, pick it up because
Mm.
it'll be gone. And then, like I said, I'll get back with everyone as far as listing the palladium. You'll see that up there really soon. I'm shocked that there's only 6,000. I actually didn't look at that. I didn't know whether or not I was going to get the palladium, so I didn't really do any research yet. And so when we clicked on that, I was like, holy,
Oh, we
that is.
showed too much.
Well, I mean, yeah, because previous years it's been 15,000
Oh, wow.
of each one.
Wow.
And so,
Yeah,
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 6,000 is
that's crazy.
wildly low. And then one last thing I did want to say. I sent this to you earlier. I want to leave this out there. So, foreign central banks now officially hold more gold than U.S. Treasuries for the first time since 1996. Let that sink in.
Oof.
If you think this buying streak is ending, just look at what happened in the 1970s. This is likely the beginning of one of the most significant global rebalancings we've experienced in recent history, in my view.
Oof.
That's pretty interesting there. So there's
Mm.
been a lot going on with gold and silver. It continues to evolve, even though it's old as can be and part of us since the beginning. I read something the other day about silver becoming, and I'm going to start finding. I'll give you my sources and everything. So, but the new administration, the Trump administration,
Mm.
designated silver as I want to say it was a strategic metal. It wasn't rare earth or anything like that, but they're looking to protect it because in order for us to continue to grow technologically, silver, we're not doing it without silver
Mm.
because it's
Yeah.
needed in all those components.
Oh, yeah.
So
EV.
that was really interesting. And yeah, I mean, we're just moving forward. We want to help collect. We want to help people collect. We want to help you invest in these types of products. We're here for that. We're here for you.
Mm.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you ever want to have any kind of subject matter broached, by all means, send a DM, reach out and let us know what you'd like us to talk about quickly. And if we can and we have the time, we absolutely will. And so thank you. Thank everyone. I really appreciate everyone for showing up and listening. And uh, listen, it's not bad to be a coinaholic. I'll just say that. So become a coinaholic. Be like us.
Yeah, it's a good thing to be very early on some of these coins. And yeah, you point out a lot of ability to get in early and be able to have these coins that have low mint, so that's cool to have that knowledge. And I want to share that knowledge with everybody and be informed in this industry. So we're here at the hour. We're a little bit over time. Appreciate everyone being here. Thanks for joining us, and check us out on getting busy. All right.
Bat phone.
That's we're over time. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll see you guys on the next one. 1 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. We'll see you on the next stream.
See you guys.
See you guys.